Hello everyone, welcome to my class today. Today we'll see the continuation of research design class. So in the previous classes we have completed the qualitative research designs, and in quantitative research design the last class we dealt with the pre-experimental research design. Today I'll be teaching the quasi-experimental research designs. So coming to the types of experimental research design, so already we have seen this. There are three types in pre-experimental, quasi-experimental and true experimental research design. To the characteristics of experimental design, so these all have dealt in last class. So in that we have three characteristics. One is manipulation, treatment or experiment. That means what procedure or any interventions we do on the samples is called manipulation. And next is control group. So whenever in an experimental study we have two groups, one is the experimental group and a control groups. Okay, so in control group there won't be any interventions done, whereas in experimental group we will be doing an intervention and finding the difference. And next is randomization. So here the participants are coming by chance and it is not by choice. Okay, so that is there will be a random assignment of the samples. So in pre-experimental study there should be a manipulation, but control and randomization may not be present, that we have dealt in the previous class. So now for a quasi-experimental study there should be a manipulation and a control, but randomization is not necessary. Okay, so quasi means it is resembling, that means it looks like a true experimental research, but it is not a true experimental research because here randomization of samples is not there. Okay, so like experimental study, though we manipulate, that means we do the intervention on the samples, but these samples are not randomly assigned. As in quasi experimental study there is no randomization done, so the study may be a confusion because here the samples may not be a representative sample because we don't randomly assign. So because random assignment is not needed, so this is very flexible study. In cases where randomization is not possible, in those only to identify the effectiveness of treatment we can use the quasi experimental study. Okay, in definition of quasi-experimental design, it is a empirical means true, and interventional is some experiment is done so that we can identify the impact or the effectiveness of the intervention on the population, but here it lacks random assignment. So it is somewhat same like an experimental research, only thing is they do not have a random assignment, but instead of random assignment the researcher can use certain criteria. Okay, so like I will select only this type of samples. Okay, that means if something related to marks we want, okay, so we have to make a criteria, only students who having some average score will be selected. Okay, so like that we can have a criterion, but there won't be any random assignment. And coming to the characteristics of quasi-experimental research design, so here first, as other experimental designs, we must also identify the variables. So there will be two variables, one is the independent variable and the other one is the dependent variable. Okay, so independent variable means what some intervention or experiment what we do, that is which is causing the difference, that is called the independent variable, and effect is the outcome. Okay, so that is the dependent variable. So on the samples we will find the effect and they are the dependent variables. Okay, and in quasi experimental design we have a grouping, so that means we can group the samples as control and treatment group. Okay, so control group means there won't be any treatment, they are given up only placebo, that means without any treatment they are considered. And the treatment group is we give some experiment or any manipulation is done. Okay, and in quasi experimental research the treatment or manipulation should be there. Okay, so that means we has to do some intervention on the samples and find whether this intervention had some effect on the variables. Okay, so that is on the dependent variable. And participant assignment, so as I already said, here there won't be any random assignment, but we can have a cutoff score. Okay, like I already said, so like only persons who have score more than 80% will be participating in the research. Okay, so like that we can have some criterion in this research, but we cannot assign the samples randomly. And finally testing. So here we can use a pre or a post testing will be done in order to identify the effectiveness of the study. Coming to the types of quasi-experimental design, there are two types. One is non-equivalent control group design and time series design. Okay, so non-equivalent control group is we take two different samples, but they should be quite similar but have some two different criterion. Okay, like for example, we select samples from a government setup and from a private setup. Okay, so like if you want to see the knowledge of nurses, okay, so the nurses working in the government setup and private setup may have a different in the knowledge, and in one group we can give some experiment, and in the other group we will not give the intervention, and later we can see if there is any change in the knowledge. Okay, so like that, that is two smaller similar group, that means we have to select only nurses, but these two nurses we are selecting should be a non-equivalent, that means they are from a different setup. Okay, and here we need not assign the samples randomly because like available nurses in this setup may be less, or you may not be able to randomly assign, so you can use the all the samples for the study. So that is non-equivalent control group design. And in time series design, so here like immediately when we check the knowledge, that may be higher, but we have to see like after a specific period of time, or in during after a long duration, what whether there is some change in the knowledge of the person, that you can identify with the time series design. Okay, so time series is you have to wait for certain time, then you have to identify the effectiveness of the intervention. Okay, next coming to the types of non-equivalent control group designs. Okay, so there are again four types, that is non-equivalent control group post test only design. So here we take two groups, and these two groups will be similar but they do not have the same characteristics. Okay, and for one group we have to give experiment, and the other group will not do the experiment, and then we have to see the post test to identify whether there is that is whether there is change in the experiment and the control group. Okay, so that is whether there is change in the two groups. And in non-equivalent control group pre-test post-test design. Okay, so this is also same like the previous design, only thing is here we have to take the pre-test of both the groups before administering the intervention. Okay, so before administering intervention you have to take a pre-test, then to one group we have to administer the intervention, the other group will not be given any intervention, and we have to see the post-test for both the groups and identify only if our intervention had some effect on the persons, or without even the intervention the person had some change in knowledge or increase in knowledge can be identified by this pre-test post-test design. Okay, in pre-test post-test design with switching replication, so here we select two non-equivalent groups, and for one group we administer certain intervention. Okay, so we take a pre-test for one group, you do an intervention, and then we take a post-test for both the groups, and later the first group which is which we given the intervention, they will be continuing with the intervention, and secondly for the second group again after the post test again we have to do an intervention, give the intervention what we gave to the experimental group, then we have to identify the post test again. Okay, so with this we can identify with the whether the control group only without interventions they are getting some experience, or only with the intervention they are getting the experience, so that to identify that we do a pre-test post-test design with switching replication, and later pre-test post-test switching replication with treatment removal design. Okay, so this is also same as previous design, but here like same way pre-test will be done for both the groups, and for one group we have to administer the intervention, and the other group we will not administer intervention, and then we have to do the post test, and next after post test to the interventional group, that is the treatment or experimental group, we have to tell them to stop the intervention, and for the control group we have to administer the intervention. Okay, and then later after some time we will be seeing the post test of both the groups, and we will find if there is any change. Okay, that means previous knowledge, with the previous knowledge alone, whether the person can progress, or with the recent knowledge whether the person can progress, that we can identify with the pre-test post-test switching replication with treatment removal design. Okay, so now we will see the examples for all these types of designs. So first, non-equivalent control group post-test only design. Okay, so here you wanted to see the new method of teaching in school students. Okay, so we conduct a study, so we take a treatment group and we implement the new method, whereas we take another control group, but they should be on a same grade. Okay, like some third standard or fourth standard, whatever student you take, this both the groups should have the same grade, but in one group you will administer the new teaching, and in post test you have to do for the both the group and identify whether there was a change in the post test on only the treatment group, or even without the new teaching, whether there is some significant knowledge change in the post test even in the control group. So you can see here treatment is given only to one group, and we see the post test knowledge in other group, which is a control, where we don't give treatment but post test we will identify, and we can see whether there is any significant change in knowledge in both the groups. Okay, and next is non-equivalent control group pre-test post-test design. Okay, so this is two groups we take. We do a pre-test, that is preliminary, that like for example in the nursing hospital. Okay, so we take two types of hospital, and in one hospital you have to implement the new system of nursing care delivery. Okay, and but we have to give this new system to whole hospital, because you cannot randomize, because all the nurses should know the new system of delivery in that hospital. So without randomization we take all the samples in that area, and in another area you will not do the intervention. So here for both the samples you have to do a pre-test, and for one group we will be administering the treatment, that is some new teaching, and later you have to see the post test, and in the other group you will do a pre-test and we don't give any teaching, and then there will be a post test. So with this you can identify only, that is whether there is any change in the pre and post test. Okay, so if there is a change in the control group, then then that means not only the teaching, other variables are also affected the knowledge of the person. Okay, so like this you can identify, that is non-equivalent control group and pre-test and post-test design. Okay, next is pre-test post-test design with switching replication. Okay, so here I am saying, so we take two groups of person with depression. Okay, so like one group may be a patient and another group may be a students who have depression, and for patients we do some exercise intervention. Okay, so first we have to do, so you can see pre-test is given for both school students and also the patients, and for patients we are giving the intervention and then we are doing the post test. Okay, whereas on the school students we are not doing the intervention initially, but we are taking the post test. Okay, later this first group will be continuing with the intervention, whereas in the second group in the later stage we have to administer the intervention. Okay, that means we have to teach them the exercise program. So then we have to do a post test in the next stage. Okay, again we have to do a post test. So here you will identify whether that is whether without treatment. So if there is a change in the first pre-test to post-test in control group, that is decrease in depression, then it may be not due to treatment, it may be due to some other reason. Okay, some other variables can cause the change in the level of depression. But if there is no change in depression, but with treatment if there is a change in depression, or with prolonged treatment if there is a change in depression, we can identify that whether there is a useful in that exercise. Okay, so like that you can identify, that is called pre-test post-test designs with switching replication. So next example is for pre-test post-test switching replication with treatment removal design. So this is also same as previous design. Only thing here you can see the post-test between the experimental group. Here we are telling them to stop the exercise. in the experimental group, then we are giving the exercise to the control group. Okay, so here we can see whether if they stop the exercise, whether there is change in the depression level, or only with exercise if there is a change in the depression level can be identified. Okay, so these are the types in the non-equivalent control group design. So next, again in types of time series design, there is interrupted time series design. That means we that is sometimes in education we have to do it in a long time. Okay, that means immediately when we check the knowledge it may be higher, but after a long duration the persons may forget. So in interrupted intervals, okay, so that is first 3 months, like that we can make a counting. Okay, so first 3 months, every 3 months we have to do a pre-test, then do an intervention, then after every 3 months you can do a post test. Okay, here you can use either a control group or even without a control group. Okay, like in every academics we may do in the colleges. Okay, like we have a quarterly exam or a semester exam in between. Okay, so like that in between some exams will be there for our assessment, and finally we will have a bigger assessment. So like that you can have assessments in between even without a control group, or you can use a control group. That is interrupted time series design. And time series with non-equivalent control group design is again it is same, but here only thing is we have two groups and one that is which will be a non-equivalent group, and time series with multiple institution of treatment. Okay, so like in interrupted time series design we will give only one treatment, but in interrupted time periods we will be taking the teaching, whereas here every now and then we have to give new teaching, and then every 2-3 like every intervals, like after 2 or 3 months we have to keep on doing a post test and observing whether there is any change in the knowledge. Okay, so here you can see the example of interrupted time series design. So here either you can use a control group, or without a control group, like in colleges you can as usual take the classes, and in between we keep on having tests, and one bigger intervention will be done, and later again after every 3 months you can check for the knowledge. Okay, some education will be given in the between, but previously we have to do so many pre-tests, and that is give a bigger continuing education or some education in between, and then we have to do the post test. Okay. And next is non-equivalent control group time series design. So here again two groups is taken, and these two groups are non-equivalent groups. So one group is the standard group, other group will be the comparison group. Okay, so here in hospital we take two groups, so one will be a government setup or in a private setup hospital. So we have to give some continuing nursing education to one group, and in the other group we are not giving that education. Okay, so first we have to see a series of observation like ward 1 to O4, then do a treatment, then O5 to O8 we have to see again the post test. Same way in the comparison group, without giving any education you have to keep on doing the test or observation and find out the results. So whether there is any change in between the time gap you can identify with time series design. And next is time series design with multiple institutions of treatment. So this is a simple time series design, but numerous times we have to keep the test, and numerous treatment is given, and numerous test observation is done. Okay, so you can see first two observations are done, again we give an intervention, then do two tests, again give an intervention, again in different durations you have to keep the test and intervention. So like this when we keep on giving interventions and treatment, so whether there is some change in the increase in the knowledge, that we can identify using a time series with multiple institution of treatment. Okay, so this is about the quasi experimental design. So coming to advantages, so it is very practical, because in real world mostly in medicine we deal with patients, so we cannot destroy a patient for doing a research. So we can use quasi experimental design, because it is not more it is not a more accurate or true design. So it is very feasible to do in real life situation, and it is also less expensive, because here there is no random assignment of sample is needed. So whatever samples according to your convenience we can take, so it is not much expensive. Again here there is require few resources, okay, whereas in experimental study you have to do it truly and it has to be done in a very controlled situation, but these can be flexible, you need not have more resources. And disadvantages is, so as it is not very much accurate, there can be bias in coming with the inferences. Inferences is the result can be wrong and you cannot generalize to the population. And here it is lacking objective criteria because we take samples based on our own judgment, so there is no objective criteria. And also here control over the research setting, and also the samples are missing, so it is less reliable. Okay, so these are the disadvantages. I hope you have understood with my class. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, subscribe and click the notification button for regular updates. Thank you.